Welcome to Mindful Eating. It's good to be with you. I'm John Nicholson. I work for the NHS for Cambridgeshire and Peterborough Foundation Trust, and I'm one of their chaplains. And we have a service that we call the Heart and Soul Service, which is based on the idea that we're all people, we're all human beings finding our way through this world together. And whatever we can do to help one another, then we should think about doing so. Which is why I want to share with you something that I have found really helpful and meaningful, and has certainly got me through life when the waters were very stormy and choppy, and that is mindfulness practice. If you were with me the first time I came on a Wednesday, I spoke about more of the technical or the reasons why mindfulness helps. So, you know, the way the brain works and so on, and what it is that we're doing when we practice mindfulness that is helpful to us, and so on. But it's actually in the application of mindfulness where the treasure lies. It's actually doing it that brings reward rather than understanding it. Because, you know, I've been practicing mindfulness for a little while now, and I might not really understand most of why it happens, but I do find what has happened is I'm a much calmer person, and I handle stress much more ably than perhaps I used to. And that's really important when we're navigating the waters of life, our relationships, our personal relationships, our work relationships, but most of all, the relationship I have with myself. What we're going to do today is to focus on food, to focus on a mouthful of food at a time, and we're going to do that by doing it. But before we indulge in what we have brought for our lunch, and I hope that you have, we're going to settle ourselves into this space mindfully. We're going to do a little bit of mindfulness practice which focuses on our breathing, just to sort of bring us here, mind and body together, before we then consider our food, which we will also approach in a mindful fashion. And you can do this anytime that you choose. So with feet on the floor, if you're seated, and hands relaxed in your lap. We're going to have some mindfulness practice of mindfulness of breath practice, so that body and mind can come together. And what I would like you to do, just for this part, is to lightly close your eyes. I'm going to do this as well. And I'm going to take, and I would invite you to take, just 2 or 3 deeper breaths. Be very gentle. And if you make your out breath longer than your in breath, if you can try to do that, then you're going to switch on the wiring in your brain, which is the wiring that helps you to be relaxed. So in and out. And out is a little bit longer than in. Try that again, just 2 or 3 deeper breaths. And then just let your breathing rhythm become its usual self. Just let it be as you find it. Don't change it. Maybe, if anything, just slow it down a little, but notice each breath you take as you take it. This breath in and this breath out. This breath in, this breath out. Try that now. Just notice each breath. And if you want to, just say that word in and that word out as you breathe in and out. Try that now. We are focusing on our breathing, but we can focus on any particular thing that we choose when we are practicing with a certain intention to be mindful. We bring our attention and our intention together. And we can use an object to do that. We can use a sensation to do that. You may have heard about this very trendy program that was on the telly recently about I didn't watch it myself. I'm celebrity allergic, really, but it was about celebrities immersing themselves in freezing cold water under the guidance of Wim Hof. And what they're doing there is powerfully increasing a sensation, a feeling, which immediately changes the way that your mind works. You focus on the sensation. And when we're breathing and noticing our breathing, we're doing the same thing. And we can do it with taste and touch and smell and sight, with all of our senses. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to focus on food. Our intention is to focus on a single mouthful of food. Or if you brought a drink and you have no food, then a sip of a drink, a sip at a time. This is mindfulness of eating. So you can open your eyes and look at the screen now, and you will see the words there. What I'd like you to do to begin with is to take a moment, now that you're settled and grounded in this space, now that your mind and body are together, we're going to appreciate what we have. We're going to notice our gratitude to begin with. And this is a good thing because it increases our awareness of our dependence on others. And it increases our awareness of all the things we have to be grateful for, represented in a very simple way by noticing that we appreciate that we have food to eat. That is amazing. We have food to eat, to nourish our bodies, to care for ourselves, to reward ourselves. We have food on our plate. Many people in the world may not have this. Sorry, I need to get rid of this. I do apologize. There we are. There we are. It's gone. There's something else about this as well, which I think is important. We have a dependency on those who provide us with the things that we have. So noticing that is good for us as well. So whatever you've brought to enjoy, appreciate that you have it in the first place. So that's the first step in this mindfulness practice, mindful eating. Now, what I'd like you to do is to look at the food that you have. I've got a piece of fruit loaf here. I just want you to pick it up, pick up a piece of food. I'm going to pick up the fruit loaf. I'm going to hold it in my hand. I'd like you to pick up a piece of food and hold it in your hand. And I want you to do what we do in mindfulness practice, which is to notice. To notice. I want you to notice how it feels. And remember, this is in preparation for enjoying the taste. We begin by noticing how the food feels. Look at it as well. Enjoy. The fruit loaf I'm looking at, the piece of fruit loaf, it's got an incredible structure. And the fruit is beautifully arranged in this piece of loaf. But how does it look to you when you look at what you have? And smell it as well. Hold it up to your nose. Mine is a sweet aroma, a yeasty sweet aroma. The thing is to notice how it feels, how it looks, how it smells, and any other thoughts that you're having about the food in your hand. Mindfulness is noticing. Your intention is to notice, and your attention is brought there. So whatever it is in your hand, notice how it feels. Touch it with your other hand if you like. I can move my right hand over the surface of the fruit loaf, the piece of fruit loaf. It's a little bit grainy and it's a little bit rough. It's quite squidgy when I prod it. How is it for you? Now I'm going to invite you to taste what you have, what food you have brought, but just take one bite and leave the food in your mouth. I don't want you to chew it yet. So take a bite. I'm not going to take a bite of mine because I wouldn't be able to speak to you. When we do this, we often do this with a piece of fruit, but it can be any food. Just take a bite. Or if it's a drink, take a sip and hold it in your mouth. So we're slowing everything down, which we often don't do when we're eating. It's quick and it's gone, but we are now slowing down and noticing the food in your mouth. Notice the taste, the temperature, the texture. Try that now. Just hold it in your mouth. Of course, the temptation is to chew, isn't it? Especially if you were doing this with a piece of chocolate or a favorite fruit. But whatever it is in your mouth. Just notice with your tongue and with your taste how that is. Is it sweet? Is it sour? Is it juicy? Is it dry? Is it wet? Is it rough? Is it smooth? We're using our senses. We're using our senses to connect with the experience, to notice what we're noticing, the taste, the temperature. Well, yes, fruit loaf. It's not hot, it's not cold, sort of in between. Now, just chew slowly, just chew very, very slowly. And don't swallow yet, just chew. There is some people do recommend how many times we should chew something before we swallow it. And it's quite a lot if you try. It's quite difficult, but try that now. Just try chewing for as long as possible. And then when you're ready, you can swallow the food or the drink. So if it's a drink, you can swish it around your mouth. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do that with this coffee. And what I'd like you to do now is to repeat the process. So take another bite, hold it in your mouth. Notice the taste, the temperature, and the texture. And hold it there for a minute and then chew slowly. Try that now. We're slowing down our fast food nature. We're changing the habit of a lifetime just for a moment in the day. as we might stop to enjoy a scene that we might otherwise be rushing by in the car. We're stopping and we're taking our time to notice our food and what that brings to us when we notice it, about our relationships with the world around us, the people we depend upon in this world to bring us what we need, the food itself, how it feels, how it looks, how it smells, and then we're going to chew on it. We're going to eat it and hold it in our mouth to notice the taste, the temperature, and the texture. That's the next step that we've been committing to for the last few minutes. And now I invite you to eat a little bit more in your own good time. We're not finished yet. We've got maybe 8 or 9 minutes left, but eat a bit more and take your time eating. That's the key thing. I'll take my time with this coffee too. I'm going to smell it. I'm going to think about it and who brought it to me. I'm going to be aware of my gratitude for it. And I'm going to enjoy it in all its glory by slowing down and sipping and noticing what I taste and how that feels. I invite you to do the same for the next few minutes as we sit quietly together, as though we were in the corner of a cafe, just relaxing and enjoying the process of eating and maybe drinking. Try that now. Notice what you're thinking as well. It is quite difficult to accomplish. We're not used to this. We're not used to having this kind of relationship with food. But that's kind of what mindfulness practice is, actually. It's about changing our relationship with everything in the world about us, so that the experience is fuller, more rewarding, kinder, increases our sense of gratitude, our sensations, puts us more in touch with our sensations and those sensations that are good for us. But most of all, increases our awareness of what is good for us and how to connect with it. The last time that we met, we heard from Thich Nhat Hanh, who talked about drinking tea and taking a very long time to drink a very small cup of tea, because he thought of the community of people that he was a part of that brought him this tea, but also the experience of drinking it. So remember, each time you take a bite, slow down and enjoy. Just take your time. And on the slide on the screen, you can see an instruction to stop eating when you feel full. That's probably a healthy message, isn't it? If we're more in touch with our bodies, we're more responsive to what our bodies are telling us. And our relationship with food is no different to any other. We eat emotionally, don't we? So if we can have a balanced kind of relationship with our eating and drinking, it might be better, healthier for us. Noticing the joy of eating, the joy of feeling full, and noticing when we feel it. So each time you set aside some time to eat and drink mindfully, take a moment to appreciate the food on your plate. Focus on a piece of food and hold it. Notice how it feels, how it looks, how it smells. We most often do this exercise with a juicy fat raisin. You can do it with a piece of chocolate too. You don't have to do it with your lunch, but you could, simply by taking a piece of food at a time. And notice any thoughts that you're having. It's all about being present. And when you put the food in your mouth, or when you take a sip of drink, don't swallow immediately, but notice instead the taste, the temperature, and the texture, and wait before chewing, and then chew slowly or sip and swallow slowly. It's all about slowing down. And then, if you can, notice when you feel full. I don't have to eat everything that I've brought with me, but I might feel like doing so. I might notice when I've had enough. Maybe it would change everything if I notice. Change everything in terms of what I put into my body and how I consume it and how I feel about it. There is a video available that I found, and it's shown in the slide there. You'll be able to get that on the recording if you need to take note of it. It's a 3-minute video, and it's given by somebody who talks you through this process, chewing on a piece of fruit, I believe, a raisin. We're going to spend the last few minutes going back to where we started, and then perhaps if there's plenty of food left and you're still hungry, you can return to your lunch in the usual fashion. So let's just take a couple of minutes now, 2 or 3 minutes, to practice some mindfulness of breathing. So close your eyes again, lightly close your eyes, hands relaxed, feet on the floor. I want you to be aware of how you feel now compared with how you felt when you joined me. I hope you feel much more relaxed and more aware of your whole self and how you take care of yourself. Feed yourself, reward yourself, nourish yourself, and yes, care about yourself. Care for yourself first, because you care for others too. Notice any tastes in your mouth as a result of what we have been doing together. What are the tastes that you notice now? Are there any smells from the food or the drink? And what are the tastes that you notice? I can still taste my coffee, and that is nice. It's a nice taste. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed being here, taking a moment just for myself and enjoying eating and drinking. What a blessing it is to be able to do so and to leave everything else where it is. Set aside some time to do this again. And now focus on your breathing, in and out. In and out. And that's all you have to do. You've given yourself permission to do very simple things straightforwardly, and that is good for us. Our minds love this. Our brain loves this. Our bodies love this. It's as good as a massage, a therapeutic massage, or a swim in the ocean, or a walk in the park, or immersing ourselves in some beautiful music. It is as good for us as that, because we notice that it feels good for us. Just breathe in and out. And I want to congratulate you for what you've done for yourself today by being here. Today is a very good day. You are beautifully made, mind and body, beautifully put together, and you have used to the maximum the sense in which that is true. Food helps us to connect with that. It's a very simple thing, but in a sense, with a little h, it's very holy too. Because we are blessed to be here and to have food on our plate and to be free to breathe in and out and notice that we are breathing in and out. Free from thoughts and worries and concerns. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow is yet to be here. There is only now. Sitting down to eat and drink reminds us of that. It solidifies the sense in which we are here now and we eat together. Companionship. Companionship with ourselves and others. It's a holy thing. I'll be back sometime and I will be offering some other mindfulness practice of some kind or other. And I hope you'll join me then. And you will also know that every Wednesday at 4 p.m. We offer a guided mindfulness practice for just 15 minutes. I hope you'll join me sometime. Until then, thank you for being here. It's been delightful to be with you.